All right, we are on the 17th day of our 21 days of EFT tapping challenge. It's been going so crazily well. I did not imagine that, you people are going to participate so much in it, which is great, great, great. And not just you, you've made other people around you also experience tapping, which is even greater, right? Today, the topic that we are discussing is around money, all right? Because that's a crucial part of our life. And when I say money, particularly around saving and investing, a lot of people do not really realize the difference between saving and investment. So, just to make it in a very brief way clear to you, at least what I understand from it, that investing money is basically putting money into some assets which help grow your money at a faster pace. All right. And saving money. But before I come to saving, investing money and putting it into assets, for example, you can be putting it into golds, you can putting it into, let's say, buying mutual funds, SIP, you can be doing PPF, you can be using national pension scheme, you can be basically maybe investing in property if you have surplus. So wherever you are putting money for the long term to make it grow means investing money. So you put your money and you forget it for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That is actually investment because that is done to grow your money in the longer run. Whereas saving money has some goals associated with it in a way that you save money, but that is majorly because you would be needing it in the shorter period of time. For example, you start saving money because you want to buy a car in the next 2 years, let's say. So you save money, at least the down payment for the car for the next 2 years, and you pick out that money because you want to use it now to buy the car. Or you're saving money because, let's say, a marriage is coming in your family and you need that money at that point of time. Or you save money for small needs also. You're saving money because, let's say, you want to buy a watch in the next 5 months. So you save money. So basically, money that is put maybe for a shorter period of time for a definite small or medium term goal in your mind means saving, because ultimately you're going to use that money either to buy something that you need or to basically, if there's some emergency in some case, right, that you need that money. So now both the aspects around money are very important, because you need to save because you may be needing money for different reasons from time to time, but you also need to be investing because that is where your money will actually grow. Saving, let's say you're putting it into an FD or you're keeping it only in your savings bank account, just maintaining an emergency fund, that's also saving, right? It's not particularly going to grow a lot for you. Okay. So you don't really call money that is put into a fixed deposit as an investment. Like you may call it, but then the rate of it return is very low and the inflation is higher. So basically the value of the money only reduces when you're putting it in an FD. So you can consider it as a saving that, okay, I'm putting it aside. The day I need it, I'll just break the FD and I'll use it. But that's not necessarily a good investment option. Okay. There are many great investment options that you can be exploring. That said, saving and investment is crucial. Why? Some people I have met who say that, Sonal, हम पैसे कमा ही इसलिए रहे हैं so that we can enjoy our life, right? We don't know until when we are living, right? So why do I need to really save money for the future when I don't know if I will be even alive at that age or not? And that's a very crooked way of thinking. That's not a good way of thinking, because even though we don't have a certainty of up until the life that we are going to live for, but we are also not certain that while we are living, what if an unforeseen circumstance comes up? What if a situation comes where our family needs money? It may be a medical emergency, it may be something desperately needed by our family at certain point of time, and we don't have any money because we never saved it. Then where will that money come from? Either we'll have to go for loans and pay high rate of return, rate of interest on that, or some other way we'll have to borrow it from here and there and then again pay some interest on that, which is not a good way, right? Because how much money can we keep borrowing from people? We should at least be having something with us also for our small needs whenever we need it in an emergency, right? So there always has to be a habit of saving, and at the same time, your money, if you're making, should also grow on itself, right? You should not be the only one who is working on growing the money. The money should also be working on growing money for yourself. That's what we call investing, right? When you put money, let's say, into gold, now the price of gold rises. You're not sitting and doing any work to increase the price of the gold, right? It just rose and your investment money automatically grew, right? Because of that. But you decided to invest money and that is why that grew. What if you had not bought that gold? No point, right? If you ask me, I have been into a habit of saving and investing since 2020. Before that, even I was not in that good habit, though I've been working since 2015. I never was really aware of these concepts, that how much I need to save, where I need to save, if I even need to save or not. And there was also not a lot of money that I used to make. So slowly and steadily, as the income grows, as your mindset grows, you realize the importance of it. And that is what I'm helping you also realize today, right? That if you've not been saving, one reason is people fear that, we don't know until when we are going to live. So what's the point? Another thing that I hear people also saying is that I don't really make a lot of money and I cannot really save that money because my expenses are too huge and nothing is left. It's sometimes I don't even have money for my expenses, leave alone saving. That's again not a right way of thinking and a right way of living life, because if your expenses are significantly higher as compared to your income, that means somewhere you're going wrong when it comes to handling your budget. I know a few people do not like this term budget because it's very constrained, but that's an amazing way to think about money. That every time your salary is credited or you're into a business, whatever money you're making, irrespective of whether you're making 10,000 a month or 10 lakh a month, it does not create a difference. It always has to be in a proportion, that how much proportion of my salary is going to go into expenses and how much proportion is going to go into savings and investments, and that has to be fixed. But then as your salary increases, a significant amount should start going into savings and investments, right? So even if it's 10,000 and you're deciding a value of 1,000, you need to know that your expenses can never exceed expenses, needs, wants, wherever you want to spend the rest of the money, up to you, but it should never exceed 9,000, because 1,000 is something that you've decided is going to go into savings and investments. And always remember another rule around savings and investments, that you should always pay yourself first. It should never be that firstly I will take care of all my expenses, and if anything is left, I'm going to save. And if anything is left after that, I'm going to invest. That way, it will never be going to be left. Okay. So if you make it a point that you automate your savings and investments, that as soon as your salary gets credited on the first day of the month, even before paying the rent, even before paying the electricity bill, even before buying the groceries, the first thing that you need to be doing is putting aside a percentage into another bank account or whatever assets you want to buy out of it, which is your saving and investment. And then whatever money is left, somehow try to balance the rest of the things using that money. Okay, because you cannot every time go back to your savings to take care of your expenses. It's not for that purpose. Your savings and investments are not for the purpose of taking care of your regular electricity bill, regular rent, regular, purchasing something that you need to buy from market. No. Your savings and investments are basically where you absolutely need it and you're doing it with an agenda in your head. All right. So on that note, I hope you've realized a little bit about savings and investments and why you should be doing it. It's very important. And to get you into a habit, let's start tapping. Okay. Even though I've not really paid a lot of attention to saving and investing money, I still choose to love and respect myself. Even though there have been times when, I've superseded my expenses. And even though I wanted to save something, I never was left with it. I still choose to honor and respect my feelings today. Even though I've not really respected money in the way that it ought to be respected, and that's why my savings and investments are at an all-time low, I still choose to love and honor and respect myself. All right, let's start tapping from the eyebrow point. I have really not been very great when it comes to savings and investments. And every time I look at my bank account, it seems to be only declining because I'm in a constant struggle to take care of my expenses. And at the end of the day, nothing seems to be left. I really don't know where I will get the money to save because my expenses are way too high and my salary or my income from my business is way too low to take care of those expenses. And this sometimes even puts a pressure on me, on my head, that what if some unforeseen circumstance comes and I need money and I don't have it because I never invested time into learning how to save, where to invest, and how much to save and how much to invest. I never really put time into learning those. But if I continue to be this way, my life will become difficult day by day because my expenses are only going to increase and I don't have any savings. I don't have any money invested, which is growing on its own. So, how will I take care of myself in the old age? Either I will depend upon my children to take care of me, or I will be struggling when it comes to money. So, isn't it better if I start planning it right away? Irrespective of how many years I have left for my retirement or for the age where I want to stop working and want to have enough money accumulated that will take care of me in my old age. I think it's high time that I start thinking about that. It's high time that I start thinking of the future big expenses that are going to come. It may be my children's marriage, it may be my children's college education, it may be, it may be my retirement, whatever the situation is, the big situations, it may be my child's school education. When I know that there are big expenses which are going to come in the next few years and I can foresee them, where will I have the money for them? If I don't save or if I don't invest money right away from today, where will I arrange that money from? Will I be taking loan for everything? I already have so many loans going on. I cannot be taking loans for every small thing, right? It will only put an added burden on my head, an added stress that I will continue to take all the time. That how will I repay those loans? Because my expenses are only increasing, my debt is only increasing, but my savings seem to be zero or equal to nothing. So, how about I start now that I've realized that ultimately there may be expenses that will come, which I will need in the future, and I will need money for that. Now that I've realized this, how about I get into a habit of saving? Even if it's from a small value, that's okay. How about I start investing money? Because when I will invest money, even though it's a small figure, there will be an exponential growth in my money because investment works on exponential growth. And when I will see exponential growth in the next 10 years, 20 years, even if I'm starting with a 500 rupees today, it can grow up to lakhs in the next 20 years. I can do the math, I can do the calculation, I can see the projected calculations that SIPs will show me. And how about I start with a small value? Rather than not doing anything, rather than constantly complaining that I don't have any money, how about I don't go out for food once and rather invest that money? How about I maybe save money from anywhere at all, just a 500 or a 1000 rupees and just invest it. If I have more, that's better, that's greater, I can invest more. But if I don't have that much, I think, start with smaller values. I don't need to have lakhs of rupees to invest. I can start with ways such as maybe digital gold, where I don't need to buy 1 gram or 10 gram gold. I can start with any value, even 100 rupees to buy gold. How about I start from there? So I think it's a knowledge problem that I'm having. I don't know the best ways to save and invest. So how about I start learning it? Anything is learnable, right? So how about I start learning where I can invest, where I can save, what methods will give me how much rate of return, how many years I should be saving, how much value I should be starting with. So today I decide that I'm going to invest my time into learning investments. I'm going to invest my time into learning how savings are done. And why am I calling it invest my time? Because investing time in learning how to invest money is only going to grow your money even further. So it's a great investment of time that I can be doing today. So today I decide that I'm going to put time, and if I'm already aware and I have just been delaying and procrastinating on things, I will start saving from today right after this tapping. Even if it's opening an FD for a 1000 rupees, I will do it because it is high time that I start realizing that I never know when a situation may arise where money is needed. And even if it's not needed, I can just continue to save it. And the day, maybe I can give it to my children one day. Even if there's no need as such of money that arises in the future, and, fortunately, it should not even arise, but I can give it to people around me, right? I can give it to my children one day. So saving and investment is never going to harm me. It's never going to be risky, right? It's never going to take my money away. It's only going to put my money into good use. So today I decide that I'm going to start saving and I'm going to start investing money. Today I decide that I'm going to learn how to save, where to save, how much to invest, and I'm going to start doing this. Today is the day when I start saving and when I start investing my money. All right, you can now take a deep breath and relax. I hope that was useful and you are going to get into a habit of saving and investing money. And believe me, that's going to be the best habit around money that you can inculcate in your life. And I'm sure you're going to thank me later if you take this seriously and if you start doing it right away. With this, we come to an end to today's tapping session. I'll see you again tomorrow on the next day of our challenge. Until then, take care and keep practicing EFT.